Welcome to Decoded by Christina. Today, I'm diving into specificity, an important concept for mastering CSS. By the end of this video, you'll know how to resolve conflicts between style declarations. Let's get started. In CSS, specificity determines how browsers decide which CSS rule to use when there's a conflict. Here's how it works. Every selector has a ranking, and the selector with the higher specificity value will be applied. The ranking is a weighted calculation based on the selector type and is grouped into three categories: ID, class, and type. ID selectors written with a hash symbol followed by the ID name have the highest specificity rating. The second category includes class, attribute, and pseudo-class selectors. Classes are a special kind of attribute, defined with a period followed by the class name. Other attribute selectors are written with square brackets containing the attribute name. It can be used with or without a value. Pseudo-classes are keywords added to another selector using a colon before the pseudo-class name. The third category includes type selectors and pseudo-elements. Type selectors target elements using their HTML tag names. Pseudo-elements like pseudo-classes are also keywords, but are defined by a double colon, followed by the pseudo-element name. So based on the ranking, in this example, what color will the text be? Green, blue, or red? If you guessed green, you're correct. While all three selectors target the same element, ID selectors have the highest specificity value. But we're not done yet. The specificity calculation also considers the number of selectors used. Three category groupings, ID, class, and type, are used to create a three-column value in that order. Let's take a look at the calculation for the selectors from the previous example. The value indicates the number of selectors used in each category. For the example ID selector, we add 1 to the first column for one ID and 0 to the next two columns since there are no class or type selectors. For the example class selector, there are 0 IDs, 1 class, and 0 type selectors. And for the p-type selector, the value is 0, 0, 1. The numbers for each count are then concatenated, which means they're joined together, not added. This gives us the final specificity value: 100 for the ID selector, 10 for the class selector, and 1 for the type selector. As a result, the ID selector has the highest specificity value at 100. Now let's examine another example using multiple selectors. All three of these selectors target the paragraph inside the section element. Which one do you think will take precedence? Let's calculate their specificity. For the example ID selector, add 1 to the ID column and 0 to the class and type columns. For example P, there's 1 class and 1 type selector, so it's 0, 1, 1. And for section P, there are 2 type selectors, so it's 0, 0, 2. Looking at the final concatenated values, the ID selector still has the highest specificity value at 100. This doesn't mean that you have to break out this table and crunch these numbers every time you write a selector. You don't have to know the exact specificity value of every selector to write CSS effectively. Just remember, ID selectors typically rank higher than other selectors. For this reason, many developers use ID selectors sparingly, if at all. Classes are often preferred because they're more versatile. They can be applied to any element and used multiple times on a single page, unlike ID selectors. Also, the more selectors you combine, the more specific it will be. A good rule of thumb is to start with general rules using type selectors, then increase specificity as needed. In addition to specificity, the order of your CSS declarations also factor into selector precedence, which I've discussed in another video. The link is in the description below. If you want to dive deeper, check out my CSS Essential Training course on LinkedIn Learning. That link is also in the description. That wraps up this edition of Decoded by Christina. See you next time.